it alludes to, or at least reminds me of, discussions around the pitfalls and perils of researching Alzheimer's drugs right now, where you
Yeah.
have an older patient population, they're at risk of worsening symptom severity, and asking them to join an RCT is not a surefire thing. And it continues to slow the field to an extent in terms of development and research and finding optimal therapy. So it is excellent to hear both, the foundation's work within this patient population and the patient population being game and knowing that, it's going to lead to advanced care. That's great. Is there anything else you'd want to highlight in terms of your team's role in bettering either diagnostics or therapy?
I think it really is a group effort. I would emphasize that the foundation is really the group that brings a lot of really wonderful people across the United States and I'd say world together to make it easier for them to serve patients, and all the investigators at the Care Center Network and all the patients that are participating in the registry were really the common ground for them to come together. And I think that's I don't know if it's unique just about our community, but I think that's really what's allowed this community to move forward. And as I tell my patients, none of the efforts that we have and the advantages and successes in the research space could occur in the absence of them participating. So you allude to a randomized clinical study, and that's really a lot of effort on patients, and some are able to participate. A lot want to participate and they can't because they're too remote in the community, or it's a group that has quite a challenge to travel if they're on oxygen. So thinking about ways, even just donating their data, participating in certain ways, that drives the agenda and works, and understanding, participating in advocacy, which is our CEO, Bill Schmidt, has a long experience in helping that. He and Kate Gates have driven that agenda. So those in positions of authority can now make better decisions to support our patients in our group, as well as throughout the United States. So I really think the wonderful thing over the past several years working with the foundation is it's a team effort. And I know a lot of people say that, but just like you alluded to in the Alzheimer's community, it's a complex disease. Not one person can achieve success, but together I think all can benefit and move the space forward.
And a question I'd like to ask anyone, regardless of their specialty and focus of work, is looking tangibly a few years down the line. So if we set the mark at 5 years from now and we're looking at pulmonary fibrosis, what would you see as a tangible best case scenario achievement made in the field in terms of development at that point?
Well, I think based on the survey, we need many more individuals in the at-risk group. So those age over 60 with significant prior smoking history need to understand that what pulmonary fibrosis is. So rather than 9% knowing what might the symptoms be, I'd say we want to really get that almost to 50% of that at-risk group has to be aware. Additionally, I think a tangible goal would be our partners in the pharmaceutical industry, with the help of patients participating in their trials, that it would be wonderful if we had another treatment, if not two, that is safe and efficacious moving forward, because that will help many more patients. And if we can expand the treatments that are beneficial to patients with scleroderma, idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, to other forms of lung fibrosis, in addition to nintedanib, but other medications, that would really help a large group of individuals. I think what we learned from patients is certainly different diseases have different rates of progression, but regardless of what form of pulmonary fibrosis you have, it impacts you and it impacts your family. So we want to serve that entire community, not just one or two or three diseases, but the vast majority of individuals that are affected by pulmonary fibrosis. So I think that is something that can be achieved in 5 years, that a larger group of those, not just a limited number, can benefit by the hard work and medications as well as supportive care that are available.